Hello everybody and welcome to OmniPoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon. I'm Jack and I'm here with the 11th round from the first Limitless Qualifier. So far we are 6-4, so we've used all of our lives, one more loss and we're out of the tournament. And we're up against a really interesting Morpeko VMAX deck. Naturally, Morpeko VMAX is a hit and run style deck. So with my extra counts of Pokemon Catcher, I'm feeling like hopefully this is a little bit of a more positive matchup for me because I'm able to gust up the Morpekos a bit more efficiently than regular sort of ADP that just plays the 4 custom catchers, which is nice. So yeah, he has a pretty standard turn. Manages to get a Doll down and an energy on a Morpeko. That's one of the biggest things about Morpeko is you just need to make sure you hit energy every turn. We have our pretty standard ADP attach, which is really nice. We also have the Guz Hala as well to guarantee being able to get one of our special energy, which are the harder ones to find, of course, which is nice. We also have a Metal Saucer, which means I'm able to get rid of a Metal Energy as well, and then hopefully hit a Quick Ball, which I do indeed hit, to be able to grab a Zacian. I don't think it was the end of the world if I didn't hit a Zacian there, because I'm going to be Dedenaing at some point anyway, so that energy kind of wasn't going to get wasted. It was just going to go in the bin anyway. So as you can see, a pretty good turn. Managed to get the Swell down as well. Again, obviously these decks pretty much solely play Thunder Mountain. I don't remember exactly how many counts of stadiums he played, but I knew this would at least sort of prevent him being able to just leverage Thunder Mountain immediately, which is nice. So yeah, and then we go for the Dedenne. Pretty strong turn, honestly. We get the Absol down as well, which means that he's going to have to evolve and attach to switch, or find a switching option himself. Things like Air Balloon or Switch. It forces more cards. Does indeed evolve into the Cincino, mention of the Doll, and then goes for a Cynthia. Again, pretty strong turn overall. Able to start getting the Cincinos online to draw through the deck, as you can see there. Discards an energy. Obviously, Tapu Koko means that some of these energy discards aren't the end of the world as well. It's a really nice... There's a lot of synergies, a lot of very small nuances with the deck, which are really good. And I think it means that a lot of the deck functions better than you'd expect. When I built Morpeko, Morpeko hit and run, basically, I don't think I ever tried Cincino in it, so that's a pretty good sort of way of drawing through the deck, keeping it consistent. He then goes for the energy assist on the Jirachi, dealing 40 and attaching an extra energy to the Morpeko, and honestly, this is a really strong play. I didn't give credit, I remember, for how strong of a play this was. I didn't see what was coming. And yeah, it was a really strong play. It meant that he didn't lose tempo attaching an energy to the Cincino. I always get those two mixed up. Attaching to the Cincino because he was still getting an extra energy. And he also set up a little bit of chip damage onto the Jirachi, which is really impactful when it comes to the VMAX's attack, dealing 20 to everything on the bench. So yeah, really strong play. Not losing tempo and actually setting up a knockout in the future, which is nice. We do indeed get to bounce that Thunder Mountain, which is obviously great. Then has to waste an E-Power just to try and dig through the deck with Custom Catcher. Has to do it again, which isn't ideal, but obviously you do what you do to stay in the game, and he does indeed hit the Cynthia, so all worth it. Managing to get a Cynthia before the make do's as well means that there is much higher probability of a Morpeko VMAX coming down, which indeed it does with an energy. Hits the Air Balloon as well. Didn't need the Air Balloon because of Absol, but maybe wanted to just have the free retreat anyway for more energy assists later on potentially. So yeah, this Morpeko is another pretty scary Pokemon. These VMAXs do not get knocked out by Zacian, and that's definitely something that is worth remembering, especially going into the next format where VMAXs seem to be stronger. There's double E-Powers coming in clutch, meaning that he deals 240 to our ADP and 20 to everything on the bench. And now things are looking pretty dicey because he's going to be able to take 4 prizes with this Morpeko next turn, unless I can find a way of knocking it out, which obviously I can't. There's no easy way to knock out a Morpeko in this deck, or a VMAX in this deck. So we're going to have to go down the Zacian route potentially if we want to be not opening up 4 prize turns. Unfortunately, going down the Zacian route means that he gets another big knockout on a Zacian, or a big chunk of damage on a Zacian. Can't quite knock it out without the other 2 E-powers in his deck, so it's not the end of the world. But yeah, it's a pretty scary spot to be in, because we just kind of not being able to knock out this VMAX puts us in a really, really difficult position. Could have gone for the Zacian here, like I say. But the Zacian doesn't really do anything. It just delays him taking this knockout on the ADP. So I might as well go for the ADP's Ultimate Ray and try and get some energy on the board and try and win back some tempo. That way, I know I'm going to be sacrificing 4 prizes here, because the VMAX attack will knock out the ADP and deal 20 to the bench, knocking out the Jirachi, which, as I said earlier on, it was a super strong play to go for the energy assist to set up that Jirachi. Here, I completely overlook that. That's why I say I didn't give enough credit to that GX, that first energy assist. I completely overlooked that and just attached the Jirachi. A huge misplay. I'm not even going to pretend that was for anything other than basically just being a bad play. Arguably, you could try and sway that it wasn't, but I think it was just wrong on every level. I really shouldn't have attached that Jirachi there, but hey ho, it was done. We have a Saucer, though unfortunately the Saucer isn't really going to be all that useful, simply because he's going to be able to take a prize on the Jirachi at the same time here. Does discard, or does shuffle in a Lily's Doll, to be able to bench this Coco, and Coco is the out to him winning the game. If he can take these 4 prizes, with VMAX, Morpeko, he then just had to set up a Coco with an E-power to knock out a Zacian, or just a Coco in general to be able to knock out the Dedenne, though he has gone through a lot of gusting already. But yeah, this game was pretty much a write-off. As soon as I don't think I did anything necessarily incorrect. I actually think the deck was super strong. I think the first misplay I made was the first definite misplay I made was attaching the Jirachi. I think every other one of my plays could have arguably been correct. But maybe there was something along the line that wasn't great. I think actually this Morpeko deck seems to have a fairly good matchup if you're able to not lose, not go behind too much, just because not being able to be knocked out by Zacian is pretty strong. I must admit, him getting the free prize on the Jirachi, or not the free prize, but the setup attack on the Jirachi was potentially game-changing. If he hadn't have been able to do that, then he would be at 3 prizes right now. So this Zacian knocking out the Morpeko that I'm going for here would have meant that basically it wouldn't really have lost me the game immediately. He would have had to find an extra knockout, and maybe that would have been enough for me to be able to find a knockout on the Coco myself. But that being said, it was kind of sketchy either way. My decision about attaching the energy there was basically because this Zacian already has 40 damage on it, so it's going to die to a Coco already. He just needs an energy. So if I try and set up the Zacian with no damage on it, it means that I can potentially force an E-power out of him. Yes, he has a large hand, and 2 Cinccino's on board, but, you know, forcing that has to be the play, because otherwise he only plays 2 E-power, whereas he plays a shed load of energy, so it's far more likely for him to hit the energy. Unfortunately, I missed the Saucer, so I miss an attack completely, so maybe it was just wrong in general, I don't know. But yeah, I remember being very on tilt at this game, just because I think I'd played okay and not been hugely punished, but not been rewarded for, I think, sensible play. But yeah, either way, he hit the Great Catcher, and that was a defeat. That was my last loss. Unfortunately, I was knocked out of the tournament as of this point. That being said, it was definitely an interesting game. It seems like the deck could have legs. I think one made day 2. 1 or 2 made day 2. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but yeah, I think I played it okay. Maybe there was something in there that I missed. I don't know. But yeah, overall, it was a really fun tournament. I'm really looking forward to the next one. I don't know what I'm going to play yet. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Jack from OmniPoke, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in another video.